but we just slowly went down into the ditch, you know.
That's what happened with me. Is like I was coming down to Sundown Road, about Peosta.
Yep.
And I started fishtailing when I turned off the highway. I'm like, okay, I've driven in winter before. I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah, so you
okay, so I know winter.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, I got it. Slowed down to 25, 30, like they tell you to do.
Yep.
And then I just started sliding.
Yep. And it feels so helpless. I mean, it's 10 inches of snow, but it's that fucking quarter-inch of ice that just makes you
it's like snow I can deal with.
Just
it's that ice that gets
hopeless, you know. And you just feel so hopeless when that happens.
Well, I mean, 'cause I was turn the wheel clockwise, like they tell you.
No.
Hit the brake, like they tell you. And I just kept sliding. I'm like, great.
So I ended up in the ditch. So we turn around and call guys. And says, hey, we're going to be a while. We're in the ditch just down the road from you. He's like, okay, I'll stop up the tractor. He comes up and pulls us out of the park. And it was steeper than these ditches here. It was probably, I'm trying to find one to compare, but it was probably steep about like that.
Oh, okay.
You know? So we weren't going to get down on ourselves. And he tried, first of all, this four-wheel drive truck, but that didn't work. So we went back, got the tractor, and yanked us out. So we went and bought this van from him. And eventually I said, Justin likes camping. I'm like, this is too fancy for camping. So we swapped vans. He took the other one.
Okay.
So that's got a lot of. We've hit a couple B roads with it that we didn't plan on, and the suspension has some serious looseness in it. I had a bushing that I was going to replace, and Holmes allowed me to buy some. I had some parts for like I think it was that bad. Every time you hit water, the fucking water would throw up in the belt, and the belts would slip. So it turns out there was a shield missing. So I got that. He put it installed for me. There's a bushing that goes on the front of the leaf spring.
Oh.
And he says the problem is that I got the bushing and stuff, but he's like, if you go to take it out, you have a problem. He says it ties up my rack until we find a way to get it out.
Right.
And I had the part, so I still have the part. I did. We just kind of let that one go. So that was like plain Jane. This is everything. So
that's nuts.
I just the only thing now that isn't working is we were blown away when we found out the air and the heat both work in the back of it. The other one is similar, but it does the air doesn't work in the back.
Gotcha.
And this one we couldn't believe it, the heat and the air. So I just I still like using this van. There's two different vehicles. This one's kind of cushy. The other one's kind of like you can tell right, much more responsive.
Gotcha.
They definitely have their own personalities. They're both the same engine. This is a 2007. The other one's a 2003.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna call this tow company. Let them know I'm on my way.
Yep.
Hey, Scott, Joshua, the guy I talked to you earlier. Hey, I'm on my way down there. I just hit Cascade. So you said it's 160? Okay, awesome. Alrighty, I'll see you soon. Thanks, bye.
Which one? Okay.
Midwest Diesel.
Oh, I didn't. That's interesting.
I asked them because in their name it says Diesel Towing. I'm like, is it just semis or?
Wow.
He's like, no, we do red cars and everything.
Interesting.
But everybody else is causing 250. Because then their excuse, well, it's new, it's a holiday.
Yeah,
so it's like, well, that's great, but
my mom was a registered nurse and my dad worked in the sheriff's department. So when the holidays came, I worked as a reserve police officer, so a volunteer police officer. About 1,000 hours a year. I only had to put in about $200 a year I had to put in. I put in 1,000 hours a year because I got to stop and see my dad during the night, and if we were up at Riverside, visit my mom. So it was pretty cool. It gave me a whole different view of law enforcement. I used to be a pain in their ass, and sometimes I still am because now I know how they do it. Although it's changed a lot since then. That was during the 80s, so the cops have changed quite a bit. They've become a lot more militarized.
Yeah.
We moved in over on Sycamore. Cheap rent, horrible land.
Dawn's pretty cool. She's a little relaxed.
You said Dawn is?
Yeah.
Your fiance?
No, the landlord.
Oh. Yes. She's so relaxed, I kind of wonder if she was medicated.
I've always wondered.
Because she just her last name, I went to, when I have to go past Fillmore, that's right. I had worked small machine shops, then into, what brought you down to Monticello? I mean, there's like 4 plants down there, but it doesn't sound like you work at any of the plants down there.
No, I work in Dubuque.
Oh, although I laugh because 2 of my friends' sons live in Monticello. One's a manager at Harbor Freight. And another one, I can't remember where he works, but they both came to Monticello because it was cheaper to rent. I think in one case to rent a house, and I don't know if the other case was cheaper to buy the house. I'm not sure.
Honestly, because I moved down here from Wisconsin back in last November. And I found that there's like really no work in Monticello.
Really? Because I always see Polo. I don't know what they do.
Polio.
Polo, and then there's like 3 or 4 other ones. Energy's been around forever. I remember driving past Energy.
They're so picky on who they hire.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like I don't have a background or anything because I want to go in law enforcement. But they're like, well, can't hire you. It's like, and they'll give you a reason why.
Yeah, but it's bullshit.
Yeah, but it's like you have a good record, you have good background, but they're like, no.
I used to try for law enforcement back in the early 80s. By the time I was in the reserve police, I went to the minimum of 12 different testing you have to take. Civil service, right? I passed them every time. I had taken so much that when I'm back in Dubuque and I go to take theirs, they says, John, you can't take the test because you've taken everyone in the state, which is 7 versions of it. So I have an unfair advantage over the other people because I know what the test is like. So they said, you just pass automatically. So I many times, one time it was like 400 people, I was in the top 20.
Oh, wow.
Except 2 things. The one to the physical agility, I was heaviest, the second oldest taking it. Past that, almost died, and my mom wanted to take me to the emergency room when I came back home. And then then I would get to the physical, and they'd say, okay, take your glasses off and read the wall chart. And I'm like, where's the wall? My eyes were extremely bad. Now, when I was working at IBM, about 2012 or so, I ended up going in, they said we could develop cataracts. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
So I turn out, and somebody turns around and says, well, what are you going to provision to me? I'm like, what? Like, there's a surgery other than, that stuff when they slip the eyeball to the radio, whatever,
Yeah.
I couldn't, my vision was so bad that my prescription was too extreme, so I couldn't get that surgery. And not when I wanted to get law enforcement. Years later, and then they had gotten better, and, they could do up to that. But, so I lost out in law enforcement because of my eyes. So that's why I enjoyed the reserve police part of it. I just get paid $1 a year to have people spit on you and throw punches at you, rather than getting paid whatever they were at the time. I think they too.